The leadership in the district attorney's office starts from the top and works down, and it trickles down to all the judges on the bench. These judges that I've just introduced to you, the ones that may not have been able to make it here tonight, starting probably this summer, but definitely this fall, Labor Day is the official kickoff for everyone else. Now I just started a little early. I have some tasks that I need to accomplish before we get to Labor Day. But starting Labor Day, you're going to see a lot of flyers and yard signs, get a lot of invitations to different people's fundraisers, because we have 42 judges and elected officials that will be on the ballot in March of 2018. So it's going to be important for you to pay attention to who's running, and if there are good judges that you think have started good programs, second chance programs like Judge King has. Judge Hayes is not here today. She has a second chance program as well. Find out about those programs so you can be an informed voter. And if anyone approaches you about someone running against them, make sure you understand who it is that's running, who it is that's challenging, who it is that's on the bench. That's very important. Dallas County has been Democratic for the last 10 years. If you think we've taken a step forward and you want to continue to move forward, it's important to keep Democratic leadership not only on the bench, but in the district attorney's office. Now, unfortunately, there was a vacancy in that office during this past term, actually this current term, by the district attorney. So it was filled by Governor Greg Abbott. And he stated, when he filled it, I will only fill this seat with a Republican. He understands that this is a Democratic county. Are we going to let him take it back? No! Do we want Republican leadership or do we want Democratic leadership? The position of district attorney is the highest position that will be on the ballot. It can help to keep Democratic judges in, or it could be Republican and help to get new Republican judges in. Because please understand, their plan is to run a slate. The new chair of the Republican Party went on TV publicly and said that is his plan, to have the current Republican district attorney at the top of their Republican ticket and to run a slate of judges underneath her. Now, if they follow through on that plan that he spoke of publicly, we have to make sure that we have our plan as Democrats to make sure Dallas County stays blue and Democratic. It's important that we wake up and we have to get out to vote. But it's not enough just to vote. You have to bring other people to the polls to vote. If voting was enough, Donald Trump wouldn't be in as president right now. You have to make sure you wake up other people to bring them to the polls. You have to make sure you educate other people so that they understand their vote does matter. When I talk to voters, quite often they'll tell me, it really doesn't matter who I vote for. It's going to be the same thing no matter who gets in there. Well, I'm here to tell you today, if FriZell gets in there, it won't be the same thing. It is time out for status quo. It is time for us to move forward. We can do better than the leadership we've seen in the district attorney's office in this current term. Now, I know no one could have predicted that our current DA wouldn't be able to finish the term. But that is the circumstance we find ourselves in. So because we are where we are we going to let someone from Austin determine who the district attorney is in Dallas County? No. Or do you think the voters that live in Dallas County should determine who the district attorney is? I say it should be the voters right here and right now. And I say we can excel with FriZell. We can do better. We can have excellence in the DA's office. We can excel with FriZell. One of the main points that I want to address as district attorney, as your next district attorney, is mass incarceration. Mass incarceration. I have been practicing criminal law for the past 23 years. I've been a judge for 19 of those. I've been a judge on every level other than the Court of Appeals. Municipal court, county court for 8 years, now a district court judge, and then ascending to district attorney. During that time period, I've seen so many people that have been locked up. Some of them needed to be, but there were far too many that had they been given a second chance, they would have never come back. Some of them were my clients, and I understood that they had a family. They were real people. They had a mother and a father that I interacted with quite frequently. And we have to understand that these are lives that we're dealing with. We have to be patient and listen to their case. As a judge, many times people told me I was the first one to really listen to them and hear their case. Unfortunately, sometimes they included their attorneys in that group. They felt like their attorney didn't hear them. They knew the prosecutor wasn't listening, the judge wasn't listening. I wanted to be that ear, and now I want to be that voice. I want to be the voice for those who have no voice. Have you ever seen someone who's just scared to speak up? I'm not. And I won't be scared to speak up as a district attorney. I will be the voice for those who have no voice. Isn't that important to have a voice in the criminal courthouse? Someone who's not scared to make the right decision, even if it costs you your job. Do you know the district attorney will sometimes have to make controversial decisions that might cost you your job? Well, guess what? I just gave mine up to be district attorney. So you know I'm willing to take the risk. I'm willing to give my own position in service. I didn't have to give up that job. I didn't have to retire. Had 10 years in, I could have gotten 20. I've never had an opponent since I won in 2006. I have had Democrats and Republicans approach me and say, Judge, if you just don't get in this race, we'll make sure you don't have an opponent. Really? Well, now I know I have to get in the race because it's that important. You can't keep me out of this race. People need choices, and they need choices that they think are valid choices to make a difference once you're in the office. A lot of people say a lot of things when you're running, but it's about what you will do when you get in.
All right.
Well, we only know our track record. Do you have a track record of keeping your word? Do you have a track record of being fair and listening? Do you have a track record of standing up? Or do you just stand up for yourselves and protect yourself and by all means necessary?
All right.
Preach. I gave up the job because of all the people that I've represented, all the people that I've heard in front of me as a judge, all the people that have called me and talked to me and said, is there any way that you can help? They look at us as leaders. All these important people I introduced to you tonight, they look at us as leaders. And they think if you're a judge, you're an elected official, and you can't help me, then I have no hope. We can't let our youth get to a point where they have no hope. Because when you don't care anything about yourself, you don't care anything about another person. You'll kill, steal, rob because you don't care what happens to you. Our youth are important, and unfortunately, some of our youth have given up to where they think it doesn't matter to vote. Whoever I put in is going to do the same thing. That's not true. We can excel with FriZell.
All right.
We can do that. I'm here to tell you I'm on this journey, and I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in it for the long haul. I can't do it alone. I'm going to need your help. But when I look around this room, I've got a whole lot of support behind me, and I appreciate that. And I know my support runs deep, much further than is in this room. I talked to Pastor Freddie Haynes yesterday, and he lost his aunt who raised him, which is like a mother, and he was going to be here for me today. And he has been so supportive because his issue is my issue. Our issues are the same on mass incarceration. You can't lock everyone up. You have to have some people that get a second chance. Unfortunately, some people in the race, when I was practicing law before I became a judge, didn't give many second chances, not to my clients. But you may hear some people in the race talking about second chances. Please stop them and ask them if they had a reputation at the courthouse of giving second chances, or if they had a reputation of being tough on crime. You know, back in the 80s and 90s, that was the mantra for judges. Republicans were in power, and that's what they had to do to get elected, to say, I'm going to be tough on crime, and actually be tough on crime. My motto's not tough on crime. I don't want to be tough on crime. I want to be fair on crime. Right. Be tough when you need to be tough. Give a second chance when you need to give a second chance. That's fair.
All right.
Don't try to be overly aggressive in your sentencing to show how tough you are so you can get a conservative vote. Right. Be tough if the facts dictate, based on what you see in front of you, just like I did when I was a judge. Don't give a second chance if you know this person is going to pillage through the community and we're not safe. Another person's going to be raped or robbed or murdered. That person needs to go to somewhere where everybody in society would be safe.
All right.
But for some reason, we've gotten in our mind that if you give a second chance, that's weak on crime. That's not weak on crime. Let's be fair on crime. Let's do what's fair for the circumstances. I was just down at the Mega March a couple of weeks ago with my parents, and they had on a FriZell shirt. FriZell for DA. someone walked up to them and said, FriZell, I know that name. Where do I know FriZell from? Oh, she was my judge. She sends me to the penitentiary. They looked at him and they looked around, wondering what was going to be said or done next. And you know what he told them? He said, you know what? She sent me to the pen, but I deserved it. I've been back so many times. She gave me a chance. And to be honest, she was very respectful when she talked to me. I've been through this system a large part of my adult life. And I've been through in front of many judges. And she treated me like a human being. Even though she sent me to the penitentiary, she treated me with respect. And she told me why she was sentencing me. She told me she looked at my file and I'd been given chances. She was hoping for better for me and she knew I could do better. But I didn't. But now I'm out and I'm going to turn it around. And that was the first judge I had talk to me with respect. Even though she sent me down, I appreciated just someone having the respect and taking that time to talk to me. Do you know how few people or judges would ever have someone that they have sent to say that?
That's right.
My parents didn't know what that gentleman was going to say to them. Treat people with respect. Don't just do it because you're on the campaign trail. Treat people with dignity. Try to be fair in all the circumstances. And then later, when you have a circumstance like this, where you are being called by the people to run for district attorney, you have all the support you will need to be successful. We can excel with FriZell.
Yes.